Hello and welcome to BBC News. Storm Éowyn has brought potentially life-threatening winds to Ireland and the UK, with the loss of power and services and the closure of schools, rail, ferries, roads and transport hubs. Millions have been urged to stay at home as a rare red warning for Northern Ireland and the Scottish Central Belt is in place, which means danger to life. Many schools and large parts of the transport network are also closed in those areas. And as you can see from this map, it's a giant storm where coastal areas could see winds of more than 100 miles per hour. An amber weather warning is in place for the rest of Scotland, northern England and northern Wales. Well, in a moment, we will talk to our correspondent David Wallace-Lockhart, who's there in Glasgow for us. First, though, let's get this report on all the latest from Chris Page.
After gathering force over the sea, Storm Éowyn hit Ireland with its full fierceness. Early this morning, winds which were already strong turned savage. At Galway Aquarium, the gusts pushed floodwater into the car park. Further north, the town of Westport in County Mayo took its share of the battering. Looking out to sea, the winds are at their maximum strength and it's obviously too dangerous to go outside into a storm of that ferocity, so we're sheltering in a tunnel. The west coast of Ireland is particularly exposed to storms rolling in across the Atlantic Ocean. There have been plenty of them over the years, but people in Westport are saying today they've never seen anything as bad as Storm Éowyn. Today's been a struggle for anyone who's had to go out. Roads are dangerous with thousands of trees down. Public transport's off. Airports are open, but hundreds of flights have been cancelled.
We're expecting flight operations to return to normal schedule by mid-afternoon, but that's weather permitting. So it's important that passengers, before they come out to the airport, continue to check with their airlines just to get the latest up-to-date information on their flight.
For the first time, a red weather warning has been issued across the whole island of Ireland. That means on both sides of the Irish border, all schools are closed. Many businesses are allowing staff to work from home. The emergency services say the vast majority of people are staying inside.
We're really thankful that the public have taken that public safety advice about trying to stay at home and reduce their travel. So we'll continue to reiterate that advice around, don't travel unless you absolutely need to.
Pictures like these show what a storm of this magnitude can do. In County Tyrone in Northern Ireland, farms and houses have suffered damage. And in County Down, this leisure centre in Bangor has taken a hit from the extreme gales. After a morning of disruption, the scale of the destruction will only become clear after Storm Éowyn has blown through. Chris Page, BBC News.
Well, let's get out there on the ground. I hope to speak to Ben Schofield, who's in Manchester, in a moment or two. But let's first go to David Wallace-Lockhart, who's in Scotland. And David, I was looking at the pictures only an hour or so ago. It looks pretty rough where you are.
Yeah, it is, and I'm in Glasgow, but in South Lanarkshire, not a million miles from here, we have had winds of over 100 miles per hour recorded. And for a bit of context, we're actually shielded by quite a big building where we're currently standing, but about 50 yards up the road, there was a group of people just a few minutes ago. One got knocked over by the wind, their hat came right off and straight into the River Clyde, which, when you look at it, is more like the sea today than it is actually like a river. And this particular bridge that's over the Clyde, you can actually look, it's got plastic sheets as part of its roofing, and we've been watching as some of them have actually got ripped off. So that's giving you a sort of sense of the kind of damage that this storm is already doing, the kind of strength of wind that we're seeing. Now, there's been disruption. There's no trains today across Scotland. We're not actually going to have trains until at least midday tomorrow. That's even though this red warning is due to end at 5 o'clock. Massive disruption to flights from airports, massive disruptions to the ferry service in Scotland as well. It does feel, by and large, like people have really paid attention to that stay-at-home message that's come out from the authorities. Of course, people getting one of those emergency alerts on their phone. Many people in Scotland getting that yesterday evening, telling them only to be travelling if it was absolutely necessary. There has been widespread disruption. There's been trees falling onto roads, there's been power cuts in parts of Scotland as well, and it's really stressing why this is one of those red warnings that comes with that risk to life warning that comes with it, because these are pretty strong winds we're experiencing. Glasgow, a city that's used to the wind, but not on a level like this.
David, thanks very much. Well, as promised, let's go to Ben Schofield. He's in Manchester for us. And Ben, give me an idea of what it's like where you are.
Well, welcome to a rather sunny but also very blustery West Yorkshire. We're over the M62 here, not far from Huddersfield. Somewhere called Ainley Top, which is a lovely beauty spot, is just over there to my left. As you can see, the traffic is flowing rather well in this part of the world. The M62 heads off towards Manchester in that direction. It becomes the highest motorway in England as it travels west. Now, there are parts of the major road network that are closed today. The Humber Bridge and the Severn crossing as well have been closed to high-sided vehicles, at least, if not more traffic as well. The A66 also, which links Scotch Corner on the A1 with Carlisle and Penrith over on the M6 is closed to all traffic today, not just high-sided vehicles. That was closed from midnight overnight. And you can see why. There are at least 4 reports of overturned lorries on the roads in the north of England today, one of which was on the A19 in County Durham. There was another on the M6 near Carlisle, and 2 that I've seen reported by Highways England, one by Darlington, another near Durham. So there is real jeopardy out there on the roads. Drivers here seem to be taking it as safely as possible. The advice from Highways England is to slow down in case of debris, to avoid exposed stretches of road, and of course to keep both hands on the wheel in case of gusts like the one we're experiencing now.
Ben Wallace there just outside Manchester. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you.